Hi, I'm Chris Schleter, Master Gardener, food blogger, and writer. Gardening, cooking, healthy and tasty food is my passion. Welcome to my country kitchen, where we'll cook fast, fresh, with the best ingredients you can find. Come join me now. Next up is pizza roll-ups. This is just a different way to have a fresh pizza taste, but it's rolled up. So you can use one bag of pizza dough, which you can buy in a grocery store, but in this particular recipe, I have a homemade pizza dough, which I will put online for you, and you just use one batch of that. And I'm putting this onto a greased cookie sheet. And then to this, what I do is I add some pizza sauce or marinara sauce. And this is a marinara sauce that is really nice and thick and chunky. This is an authentic one. What I look for when I do find a marinara sauce is something that says Italian tomatoes on it, because Italian tomatoes, they take all the seeds out and the skins and they make it really nice and thick. And you can see this is real thick. So the thicker sauce, I think, the better. And you want to put the sauce on maybe about an inch from the edge, a little bit. And you can also make your own marinara sauce and use canned tomatoes. And I have a recipe for that on my blog as well. But if you want to make it real quick, go ahead and just buy a jar. And especially if you look for good quality, that'll be just fine and it'll be healthy for you as well. So I have just the plain marinara sauce on here. And to this I'm going to add some pizza seasoning, just a little sprinkle. And this particular seasoning I mix up myself. It's got oregano, thyme, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, onion flakes, and onion powder, and then fennel and sweet Hungarian paprika in it. And I'll include this recipe too for this month's recipe, so you can make it yourself and save yourself lots of money. And I'm also going to add just a touch of garlic powder to this. And again, this is from my garden that I dehydrated, so it's just a little sprinkle of that on there. And then I'm going to add some of my dried oregano that I had from my garden. Just a little bit, because oregano's in every pizza sauce. Pizza, Italian, it's in all those. And then I'm going to add just a touch of red pepper flakes. This will give you a little bit of heat, but not too much. So I have all those great little ingredients in addition to the marinara sauce. And always your marinara sauce is usually flavored a little bit, but if you add some extra spices to it, it makes it taste that much better. So now to this, I'm going to add some pepperoni. And today I'm using turkey pepperoni. If you haven't ever tried turkey pepperoni, it's really pretty good. And you can buy all kinds of different types of pepperoni. You could also use a thin salami in this, an Italian salami. That would work great too. You can also put some sausage in here, but I find when I roll it, sometimes it crumbles out because you put big chunks. So if you're making sausage on this, make sure you crumble it really finely. Don't use big clumps of it. Make it real fine and it'll work okay. What's easy about this is that once you have this all rolled up, it basically only takes about 15 minutes for this to bake in the oven, about the same as a regular pizza. But it has to be a hot oven. So right now my oven is preheating to 400. And pizza should always be cooked in at least a 400 oven. 400 to 500 is recommended. Nice and hot. Even if it's frozen pizza, it should be hotter than what you see on your packages. Okay, so now I have all of this on here. So now I'm going to slowly roll this up till I just get started, just a little bit. And once I start it, now I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on this. I'm using just regular mozzarella. And as you can see, this is hand grated. So I'll put some nice layer of this on there. Now you could also add other things if you like other vegetables, like make sure they're finely chopped, like peppers, mushrooms, whatever. We're just making this real plain and simple. So you roll it up just like you're making cinnamon rolls. Just kind of let it go, nice and tight if you can. And then when you get to the end, you kind of pinch it together. Pinch the ends, Pinch it together so you seal it. You're gonna seal the dough. And the edges, sometimes they don't have enough on, so what I do is I just cut those off. You can just put them in your pan and just cook them as is. So you cut them about, maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick, and I'm putting them on a tin foil that's been sprayed with a non-stick shortening, or you could put them on parchment paper too. And I kind of roll them when I put them on here, because you want to put these, as you can, about 1 inch, maybe 1/2 inch or so apart. Otherwise they kind of grow together, but that's okay too. Doesn't matter. When you're eating pizza, it all tastes good. So there I have them all cut up on here. So after I have them all cut, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of milk and I'm going to brush the top of the dough with this, just to kind of helps it from browning, and it kind of seals it up a little bit, the dough. You could also use an egg as well, but every once in a while I like to use milk just for something different, and it works really good too. Now you don't have to let these rise at all, because they will rise in the oven as it's baking. Okay, so now we have our milk added. The next thing I'm going to add is just a pinch of Parmesan cheese, and I use whole block Parmesan cheese, and I grate it up and it stays that much fresher. And now I'm going to put them into my 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. You can check them at 15 minutes, and if they're not quite golden, go for another 5 or 10 minutes. Just don't put it in there too long so they burn. So I'm going to put these in the oven, and when we come back, we're going to have fresh pizza rolls. Okay, I just took the pizza rolls out of the oven. You can see they're perfectly done, nice and golden brown, and you want that little crust on the top. And to this, what I will do is I add just a tad bit more cheese on top, that it will melt a little bit while you're eating that. And always serve this on a side of some marinara. So you could also put in a little spoonful to dip in yours as you cut it into pieces, or just eat it by your hand and eat it. And then to this, I'm going to add a few of some fresh green onions on this. And that red, green, and the white color is actually the color of the Italian flag. So it's kind of fun to put that red, green, and white in there. There you go. A very simple, quick treat. Well, treat, not really a treat, it's a really good dinner food. Ready in 15 minutes. Pizza roll-ups. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite snacks. You can make it as a snack, or you could even make it as hors d'oeuvre, but I really like it for lunch or snack time. You can make it by just buying some ham, or you can have turkey, and you can see there's a difference of thickness here. This is a real thin turkey. I find if you use a little bit thicker turkey or ham, it works out a lot better. So you just take a slice of your deli meat, and to this, I have some whipped cream cheese that I added some Boursin cheese and some dried herbs with. You could also use just plain whipped cream cheese or flavored cream cheese. That would work just well. So you're going to spread this right onto your little piece of meat there. And to this, you're going to add some greens. And I'm using arugula spinach mix. You can use spinach, you can use kale. And to this, I'm going to add a couple peppers, a couple cucumbers to this, and my carrots, and some green onions. And also going to add some Havarti cheese, and this is a dill flavored Havarti cheese. A soft cheese works best in this because it's pliable. And this is cheddar. It's a little bit harder of a cheese, but I sliced it really thin so you can see it's pliable. And I also have some toothpicks. So you just take it, roll it up like so, and fasten it with a toothpick. And I'll add it to the tray here I already have. Okay, there's one, and now I'm going to show you how to do a thin turkey one. So if you have thin turkey meat, I add 2 or 3 pieces of the meat, and then I will put on that cream cheese mixture. And make sure it's at room temperature, because if it's at room temperature, it spreads a lot easier. And you just need a thin layer. You don't need to have too much on there. And this I'm just going to make with cucumber and a little, I'm going to try to pick out the arugula. Arugula has got the nice peppery taste to it. So here's arugula. That's the baby arugula. And then I'm going to add some dill cheese to that, a couple red peppers, and I'm going to put some shredded carrots on that. And I'm going to fold this cheese over because this is a smaller piece. And look at how easy that is. So I have a whole tray here of some wonderful sandwich roll-ups is what I call these. but you can use these as a snack or you can use them as a lunch, and they're even quite fun if you add other things to them.